Hey everybody, I just got back from an incredible morning of single track and enduro type riding on my Tenere. I was lucky enough to have a guided tour of the south side of Calabogie from a local. He goes by Rooster. I'll link his YouTube channel in the description below. It was an incredible morning. I learned a lot about myself as a rider. I learned a lot about the bike. I've got some work to do on me and I've got some work to do on the bike. But for now, just enjoy the video and will you guys enjoy this? I'm gonna go unload my bike and crack a beer. Holy fuck. Oh, the switch bag. Oh, damn it.
This looks pretty solid. So I don't know about this piece is solid and this piece is solid.
Don't trip or get your hand in the chain.
No. Keep your fingers out of the spokes and lose the tips.
Yeah, I just saw a video about that.
Oh, that's fucking terrible. Holy fuck, I'm missing the end of my finger. Just that. Just fucking put my hands in your fucking spokes and fucking rotors.
Fuck me. Switch back.
Okay, so if you made it this far into the video, you could probably understand why I said I need to work on myself as well as the bike. For me personally, I need to work on my cardio endurance and do a bit of strength training just so I can wrestle the bike more easily. But the cardio endurance is the big one. I got gassed really early on. I suffered some nonsense muscle cramps that just all tie into that. And I ended up actually calling it quits about 2 hours into the day. I couldn't continue and I didn't want to risk getting hurt. So I came home with my tail between my legs. Now as for the bike, first things first, the rear tire, so the Dunlop D908, I love it. It's a fantastic tire, especially on the Tenere. It's great for the gravel. It's not bad on pavement. It's really good in double track riding. Literally anywhere where you have a little bit of momentum, it will hook up and it just works so good. But it doesn't have any sidewall flex really. Like I was running like 10 psi today and it was barely conforming to the terrain. And the compound is really firm, so anytime I got stuck in the middle of a climb or was doing slow, steep stuff, it just didn't have immediate traction and I was spinning a lot more than I would have liked. So I definitely want to try to find something a little bit gummier if I'm going to pursue single track more, which I intend to, especially in the Calabogie area where everything's like nice and steep and tight. It's so fun up there. As for the other things on the bike, I think I can raise the ground clearance. I was banging the skid plate all day and I was smashing the foot pegs off of rocks all day. The skid pegs, they held up great. They don't have any paint left on them, but I mean, they did their job. They deflected everything. I never got snagged. I never felt at any point like the bike hooked up and jerked off of a rock or, you know, the trunk of a tree. So really happy with how the skid pegs performed. But I think I can gain some ground clearance under the bike. Just need to rework the underside and maybe make my own skid plate and just try to build with clearance in mind. I don't think it needs to be as low as it is, so I'm gonna work on that. And then the other thing is the front end. The headlight body and the dash mount and everything, there's just a ton of black plastic in there. It's a lot of blockage of my visibility. When I'm working on long rocky climbs and I've got my weight back for traction, I can't see through that well enough to pick good lines. I can't pay attention to the front wheel to make, you know, quick changes if I need to. And it hasn't really been an issue until today when I was working in the really gnarly technical stuff. So that's something I want to change. I think I can strip that down, simplify it, and at least get some more visibility through it. So I'm gonna work on that. I got a couple projects to work on with the bike, and I'm pretty happy overall though with how it performed. So the goal, the reason I'm out there doing this, again, it seems really silly to ride such and single track and trails with the Tenere when, you know, a dirt bike would be better. But the reason I'm doing all this is I intend to race in an enduro race later in the year. And I'm training to prepare myself. Today was day one to understand what I really need to do to be ready for an Ontario style enduro where everything is tight, steep, single track. And it was eye-opening, so hopefully that works out. I've got a couple months between now and the event to work on my physical fitness, get the bike dialed in better, and hopefully get out there and run a race and not get my ass kicked. Anyways, my cold beer is waiting. I'm gonna get to that. Thanks. To be able to do that shit.